So Dion Brown's question today is, what is my comparison between a TS4 and the Harbinger? Now he put down the 4100 and then the newer Harbinger line. So that's the 4100 versus the 4400 versus the Alto, of course. So what I'm going to do first is I'll get the actual 41 and 4400 out of the way first. Power and app options. The app is much richer, much more detailed. You can do an awful lot with the app now in comparison. The app function of the 4100 is very similar to what they have on the 3400, so it's not identical to the 44, but the 44 is very robust, very detailed. Pretty much if you can think about it, you could pretty much do it. What most people don't think about the 4400 is that it's not just a speaker, it's also a digital mixer. So that's very important with that digital mixer built into the back, not just an amplifier, but you got an amp, speaker, and a digital mixer all built into that speaker. Very impressive. That's what makes that speaker above and beyond a lot of other ones out there. And nobody's close to that guy when it comes to price. So when it's on sale, it's a smoking deal. There's no reason to go out and buy anything else in that similar price range. You're going to have a hard time competing against it every day. Now for the Alto, Alto is always this series here, the TS series. They've done a really good job of maintaining the competitiveness against a bunch of other speakers, like from Electro Voice to ZLX and a bunch of other ones, in the sense that the using it as a monitor or an FR/FR has been really good for them. So where Harbinger's just now catching up with the FR/FR concept, because that speaker is very impressive, and because you can do so much to it, you can dial it into an FR/FR and not have to worry about it at that point. So if you don't want to have any difference in your music, you could possibly obtain that with both of them. If you're looking for strictly a studio monitor and you don't need it for any other reason, get the Alto. But if you're going to take it out and about and you're going to do live sets with it, definitely I'd be on the Harbinger pretty fast. Let's take a look at the backside, see all the features. We're going to compare. That's where you visually see all the differences between the two and why one has more than the other. But again, normally you're going to pay more for the Harbinger versus the Alto. So let's not take away from the Alto. But with the Harbingers on sale, you're going to see all those features. You're going to say, wait a minute, I'm saving $100 or whatever, not 20%. That's pretty impressive to have all those extra features. So Dion's got a really good question, because I mean, you look at these online and they seem very similar, but if you go in store, they absolutely look different, especially when you look at them from the back. Now, his question, of course, 4100 or the 4400, which is the new series, versus the TS4. Now I have a 10-inch here, but really let's start thinking about the 12s and the 15s because of good comparison. If you're looking at the 10 or the 8 from Alto, then you're really going to compare that more to the actual V3400 series. Similar in power, but again, the Harbinger is going to offer you more as an overall feature pack. So let's go through what you're going to get and compare each feature back to back on these speakers. Now, one thing that you can't see, of course, is the apps. They both have excellent apps. I really do enjoy the app and the app options on the two of them. I've become more familiar with the Harbinger one, but the Alto one's really good as well, which is a very nice thing. So starting on the Alto first, you're going to have 2 input jacks. Those input jacks have line mic options. So instead of having a gain control that transitions like the old model does, it now allows you to pre-select your line or mic inputs and then adjust your actual levels for those inputs. Now those levels are directly reflected to what's going to come out of the mixed out and what's going to come out of the speaker in the front. So no separate volume gain for that. Now the Bluetooth as well, you can have 1 or 2 of them. They do offer a stereo link option, but remember, if your intentions are to use any of the microphone or any of the line inputs here, you're going to need to run an XLR cable between the 2 speakers, right out of here to that next speaker. And as well, directly from the back, you're now going to have your subwoofer select option, which adjusts the internal crossover points. And then you're going to have your EQ preset, so you can adjust the type of music you want to use. And if you're running anything custom off the app, that would be the last option down at the bottom. USB option, which is nice, 2.1, 5 volts, very handy to have. Now, if we look over on the Harbinger, now this is the V4400. Let's start with the first one here. Directly in the back, we're going to see we have 2 line inputs. Combo jacks, the same as the Alto. On top, though, we're now going to have 3 options. We've got mic, guitar, and line on both 1 and 2, where here we only have the line and mic, so that's going to give us a plus here. Individual adjustments. We can turn off and on the EQ directly from the back of this unit from the actual buttons here. This also reflects on what you can do with the app. Same thing with the built-in effects. Now these ones have built-in effects on both channels, which you can turn on and off directly from the buttons in the back. That is all adjustable right here on our input select options. So we can have our gain controls instead of volume controls right here. Why do I call these gain controls? Because we have a master volume located right on top. Again, no master volume here, but we do have a master volume here. Now here as well, we have a third input. No third input option on the Alto, but we do have a third input here, giving you the option to go 3.5 if need be. And then also having your options for 1/4-inch mono or stereo, so we can have one or two of them plugged in. These can of course be balanced or unbalanced. These options aren't found on the Alto. Bluetooth is located right in channel 3 as well. Now this Bluetooth is not linkable, but that's okay because on the back of the Harbingers you get options like the link in, link out, and the mix sub, all from each speaker. So this speaker has the ability to have a smart connectivity between two of their own speakers and have your own subwoofer output with controls as well. So that's another big add-on. Right from the back you can override or adjust the app controls when it comes to the digital functions for bass and treble control, EQ override for the individual speakers. Again, really impressive, all the stuff you get. Full display so you can see what's going on with the app, where here you always have to have your phone or tablet with you. When you turn on both speakers and you have no signal going through it, you get about the same resting background noise out of both speakers. So I'm not going to say one's noisier or one's cleaner than the other. They're both very quiet and they're both resting at about the same level for background noise. Ambient room noise, so I'm not too worried about that when it comes to both speakers. Power output wise, if we were comparing a 12 or a 15 on the Alto versus a 12 or 15 on the 4400 series, you are going to almost physically get this to be twice as loud as this guy. It doesn't mean it has twice the wattage. It has the ability to generate about 6 dBs to 10 dBs more than the Alto over a 4 to 6 hour period. So we're not looking at a programmed power output, because here on a programmed power output, which means one song, I can definitely shoot this up and get close to 96 dBs, but I'm not going to want to run that more than one song because I can either damage the amp, but more likely damage the tweeter or the woofer. These things can happen, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen on any other brand. That can happen on all brands. They all have a programmable volume level, which is a volume level that you can exceed normal levels, but you are now entering the danger zone. It's like using nitro in your car. Does it make your car go faster? Absolutely. Do you want to use it all day long? Absolutely not. Same thing here. Kind of think of it like a boost, but because you have manual control of everything, you are in control of the gas pedal. There's no regulator here holding you back. You can put this above and beyond what it should be running at for small periods of time, as long as you do it safely. Now with it on, you can definitely see all the nice features on the back. When I adjust the bass and treble, you'll actually see the dials turn on the screen here, which is kind of cool, right? You have the ability to enter the menu programming, so I can turn everything on and off just by selecting the options. There's lots of options, so that we save that for a different day. Allows you to download the app and the manuals all from the QR code, so they put that right in the back. I think that's kind of a cool thing now these days. We're starting to see with companies. And everything else is pretty straightforward. The comparison is definitely not apples to apples or oranges to oranges. We are talking an avocado versus a banana. So both of the speakers, when it comes to the front, are similar in design. They do have multiple handle points around it. They do have indicator displays on the bottom of it. And they have a very nice grill setup. Now the Harbinger actually has a curved body into the front of it, which gives the actual cover a little bit more rigidity, where here they use completely, it's in the honeycomb design that gives this actual cover rigidity. They both have diffusers on the back side of them. Again, that is to stop it from making any type of Cobb effect noise through the metal, so we're not going to have any resonating steel because we've got sound going through it. That's what the mesh in the back does, gives that dampening to the whole thing. They both offer that, and they both do a good job of being an FR, and they both do a good job of being a straight up monitor, and they both do a good job of being main speakers. Diversity, it's what it's all about with these guys. So if you've got the couple of extra bucks and they're on sale, I would definitely say buying into the Harbingers are worth it. If you want to save a little bit of money, but you still want a great performance out of a speaker, especially if you're comparing it to Electro Voice or some of the other brands, the Alto is going to do an amazing job. But if you're looking for that extra power, so that one step up from the Alto or the ZLX or the Mackie Thump, that sort of thing, then you're definitely going to want to look at the Harbinger V4400 series. If you're looking for either one of these speakers, by all means, have a look at the links down below. They're there to help you out. And if you have any other questions, just like Dion did, put them down in the comments section. Maybe it'll be your question I have in my next video. So I say thanks for watching. Bye for now.